Hi, y'all. Michelle Leslie here. Wanted to talk with you today a little bit about a situation that comes up in church life sometimes. Wanted to talk to you ladies and also to you pastors about how to make this a good, beneficial interaction between you. And sometimes it can be a little bit awkward, sometimes it can be a little bit inefficient. So I just wanted to address that today and maybe make things easier all the way around for all who are concerned. And the situation is this. Ladies, when you have to talk to your pastor, especially if you're in a small church where you don't have an associate pastor or a director that's over your area of ministry or something like that, and the next person up the chain is the pastor that you would need to talk to. Um, we're talking about situations like if you have to address like a little business with your pastor. Um, for example, say that you are the head of the nursery and you get the rotation of volunteers together and you oversee the ordering of snacks and stuff like that. And maybe you need to talk to your pastor about uh, you need to change the order of snacks, or you need to talk to him about how to get more people to volunteer and the best way to go about that, or the space is getting too small for the number of children that you are taking care of every Sunday, or some sort of business thing like that. So we're not talking about like a counseling situation or a personal problem or criticizing the pastor for his sermon, or even something more in depth like addressing a false teacher that the women's ministry wants to use her materials for a women's Bible study. Nothing in depth like that, more just business type of things. So, ladies, when you approach your pastor about something like this, first of all, you want to make sure that you're not grabbing him right before or right, well, don't literally grab him, please, grabbing some of his time. You don't want to do that right before or right after church on Sunday. I know that's the most convenient time for us because that's when we're there already and we see him. And it might seem most convenient to us to talk to him at that time. But pastors are getting ready at that time they're getting there in their mindset, in their zone, kind of to preach before the service. After the service, he might have to go to the bathroom. He's probably already had to talk to a lot of people and shake hands as people are leaving. He's probably hungry and he wants to get to lunch. So, unless it's just like a quick yes or no question on your way out the door, that's not the best time to approach your pastor about business stuff. It's best if you can make an appointment during his office hours during the week, or catch him at a better time than right before or right after service. So, and then the next thing is you want to make sure that you stay on track and try not to take more of his time than you absolutely have to, because pastors are very busy, and of course they love you, and if you're over a ministry, they certainly need to know any problems you might be having or any concerns or needs or anything like that. So they need to know those things. But it's also not the time to, for example, like we were talking about, bring up counseling type of situations. If you need to know how many boxes of goldfish to order for the nursery, keep it on that subject. Don't start bringing up counseling type of situations that would need to go more in depth and he would need to reserve more time for when he has more time to spend with you. So stay on track and try not to bring in extraneous things like that. Be respectful of his time. And of course, be businesslike and professional. I know it's not a business or a professional situation, but just try to be efficient with how you talk to him and what you talk to him about, and respect his time. So those are a couple of things for ladies when you have to meet with your pastor. And of course, I don't want to go into depth about this a whole lot, but of course you need to be wise about meeting with a man who's not your husband. If it's something just a business type of thing, maybe your husband could even come with you, or you could just talk about it in the outer office, the secretary's office during the week, if you're meeting with him during the week or something like that. So just use wisdom about that, and make sure that you're not doing anything that would cause anybody to start rumors or anything like that. So those are some pointers for our ladies. Pastors, you know I love you. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I try to encourage y'all, and I just have the highest respect for y'all and everything. But what I want to provide maybe some insight from the way that women deal with things. I was listening to a lady speak earlier this week, and she brought up the subject that we've probably all heard this before about how men and women approach situations differently. And men, a lot of times, will listen for a second until they feel like they have a grasp on the problem, and then they will immediately go into problem solving mode. And women more times need a few more minutes to express themselves, to feel like they have completely gotten everything out and made everything clear. Now, pastors, like I said, I love y'all, but I need to say something. Some of y'all are talkers, and you don't listen to the complete. We don't want to. Let me choose my words carefully here. There are some women who will ramble on and on and on and on and on about completely unrelated things to whatever it is they came to see you about. And ladies, we need to be sure, like I was saying, that we keep it on task and on topic, and don't ramble. If you need to see him about something else, then make an appointment when he can spend time longer. But pastors, some of you guys are talkers, and you don't completely hear out what is going on, what she's trying to express to you. So it might be better to listen a little bit more and to make sure that she has gotten everything out that she needs to get out as far as this little business situation goes, so that you can get a good grip on exactly what the situation is and all the aspects of it that she needs to tell you. So make sure you're listening really well to the ladies that need to come talk to you about various business type situations, because sometimes if you don't listen and hear her out, you're only going to hear part of the issue and not all of the aspects of it, and that's going to cost you more time later. I know it's like I said, I know you guys are busy, you've got a million things on your plate. I know most of you are working way more than 40 hours a week, and that should not be, but it's the nature of the job. It is what it is right now. And so just try to make more of an effort to hear her out from the get-go and make sure you know all the aspects of what's going on, so that you and she can put your heads together and figure out what to do in the most efficient way, in the most Christ-like way, and in the most thorough way that you can, so that she doesn't have to come back to you again next week and say, I tried to tell you this last week, but I never was able to get to it. And so then you have to have another meeting. So just some thoughts that I had about lay women talking to their pastors about various things, and how we can do that to the glory of God, and to be respectful of each other's times, respectful of each other's thoughts, and make sure those little meetings are the best that they can be and are the most helpful that they can be for the church and for the ministry. Y'all have a blessed day.